Welcome to the Alcohol Reset, the podcast that helps you reset your habits, health, and relationship with alcohol without judgment or extremes. If you're looking to cut back, take a break, or just understand how drinking can affect your body and mind, you're in the right place. Each episode brings you science-backed insights on neuroscience, nutrition, and habit change to help you feel better, sleep deeper, and take control on your terms. I'm Mike Hardenbrook, best-selling author, neuroscience enthusiast, and habit change expert. I've helped thousands through my book and podcast to rethink their drinking, and now I'm here to help you do the same. Let's get started. Hey everyone, Mike Hardenbrook here. So you know how sometimes you grab a drink to unwind after a stressful day? Seems harmless, right? Well, get this. I was reading some seriously fascinating research the other day, and it completely flipped my understanding of alcohol and anxiety on its head. Turns out the whole thing is way more complicated than we think. We're talking, can drinking make you more anxious over time? The simple answer to that title question is, well, it's not simple. It's not a yes or no. It's it depends, a huge it depends that really gets into the weeds. Because the relationship between alcohol and anxiety, it's a tangled web influenced by tons of factors. How often you drink, how much you drink each time, the type of alcohol even. Believe it or not, different types can have different effects. Your genes play a role, any pre-existing mental health issues you might have, and even just your overall lifestyle. It's a whole ecosystem, really. So what did this research show? Well, a lot of studies point towards something called the J-shaped curve. How do I explain this best? Imagine a J. The bottom of the J represents low to moderate drinking, and for some people in the short term, a little alcohol might actually reduce anxiety just a tiny bit. But then the curve goes sharply upwards. That's where heavy or regular drinking comes in. This is where we see a strong link to increased anxiety and even full-blown anxiety disorders. It's like the initial calming effect is a temporary mask, and the long-term effects are less pleasant. One study I read, I'm trying to remember the exact name, it was a long-term one following people over 10 years, showed a clear correlation between increased alcohol consumption and a significantly higher risk of developing generalized anxiety disorder. And here's where it gets really interesting, neurobiologically speaking. Alcohol messes with your GABAergic system. GABA is this important neurotransmitter that generally chills things out, reduces anxiety. Alcohol initially boosts GABA activity, giving you that relaxed feeling, but chronic alcohol use, it throws the whole system out of whack. Your brain adapts and it ends up needing more and more alcohol just to achieve the same effect. Then when you stop drinking, bam, increased anxiety, often severe withdrawal symptoms because your brain's GABA system is all messed up. There's also this concept called the Kindling Effect. Think of it like this. Every time you drink heavily, you're essentially lowering the threshold for anxiety. You're making your brain more sensitive to stress and anxiety triggers. So eventually you get more anxious even without the alcohol. It's like your brain has been kindled, making it easier to catch fire, so to speak. This is a really crucial part to understand. Let's talk numbers for a second. I wish I could give you precise, universally agreed upon stats, but this is a little complicated part. Studies vary a bit. However, it's consistently shown that there's a very high co-occurrence rate between anxiety disorders and alcohol use disorders. A significant percentage of people with anxiety disorders also struggle with alcohol, and a sizable chunk of those with alcohol problems develop anxiety. It's like two sides of the same coin feeding into each other. Now, there's another nuance. I was surprised to learn this, but not all alcohols are created equal in their long-term anxiety impact. Research is still ongoing, but it seems that different types of alcohol, beer versus wine versus hard liquor, may have slightly different effects on anxiety over time. It probably depends on the alcohol content, the other ingredients, etc. More research needs to be done here. Okay, so what can we actually do about all this? Early intervention is huge. The sooner you notice a connection between your drinking and your anxiety, the better. Professional help is key, seriously. We're not talking about shaming anyone, we're talking about getting the right support. This could be therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and dialectical behavior therapy, DBT, have shown great results for both anxiety and alcohol dependence. Medication can also play a role, SSRIs, for example, or other anxiolytics, often in combination with therapy. It's incredibly important to address both the anxiety and the alcohol use together in an integrated approach for the best long-term outcomes. Support groups like AA or Smart Recovery can also be invaluable. Let's tackle some common concerns. I only drink socially, some people say. Am I at risk? Well, it's all about context. Social drinking once in a while is different from consistently having several drinks multiple times a week or more. The frequency and quantity are what really matter. It's not about black and white, it's about a spectrum. Another thing, is it just anxiety or could it be something else? Alcohol withdrawal itself can mimic anxiety symptoms, so it's super important to get a professional diagnosis. How can I tell if my drinking is causing my anxiety? Well, this isn't a definitive checklist, but if your anxiety is consistently worse after drinking, if you drink to cope with anxiety, then develop an even worse anxiety and need more alcohol, or if you're increasingly needing more alcohol to get the same effect, those are warning flags. You know that feeling when you're drinking more than you intended to and feel a sense of guilt or regret afterwards? That, friends, is also a big warning sign. Then there's the issue of self-medication. I've always wondered, when someone uses alcohol to try and calm their anxiety, it becomes this terrible cycle. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. What about reversing the effects? You know what? Absolutely. Recovery is possible. It may take hard work and dedication, but with the right support, professional help, therapy, support groups, people do overcome alcohol-related anxiety. Abstinence is often the most effective route, but controlled drinking can also work for some individuals with careful guidance and monitoring. Oh, and one more thing, I have to mention the success stories. I've talked to people who've turned their lives around, who've successfully managed their alcohol use and anxiety. They're inspiring, and hearing their stories also demonstrates the reality of the challenges. Relapses happen. It's not a smooth straight line, but the progress and ultimate achievement are so impactful. It reinforces the idea that seeking help is not weakness, it's strength. What can you do? Mindfulness practices, meditation, deep breathing can be incredible for managing anxiety. Set limits on your alcohol consumption. Build a support system around you. Identify your triggers, what situations make you feel more anxious and therefore more likely to drink. And develop healthier coping mechanisms. This could be anything from exercise to spending time with loved ones. The mental health landscape is changing. We're seeing so much more awareness of the connection between alcohol and mental health issues. There's more research, more effective treatment approaches emerging all the time. Things keep improving. I want to end by saying this. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say you need support. You are not alone. And while the connection between alcohol and anxiety is profoundly complex, one thing is clear. Taking responsible steps toward understanding and managing both is crucial for a healthier, happier life. So that's my take on this complex issue. I'll admit I was blown away by what I learned and hope these insights spark something for you too. Let me know your thoughts. Take care, everyone. That's a wrap for today's episode. If you got something out of this, do me a quick favor, leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. It helps keep the show going and would mean the world to me. Got ideas, comments, or questions? Shoot me an email at mike@trycloud9.com. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for extra support, check out Cloud9, makers of Daily Restore, a once-a-day supplement to support your body from alcohol's effects, and Rise and Unwind AM/PM, a 24-hour combo to curb cravings, balance mood, and improve sleep when taking a break. Go to trycloud9.com and use the code PODCAST to save 15% on your next order. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.